Hello everyone. Instead of man bun, it's actually sticking out everywhere. And I drive a Geo Metro LSI convertible. It's a car that's this big. My wife says when I'm driving with the top down, I look like a Happy Meal toy. So there's that. So I work at a homeless shelter, and it's an interesting situation. One of the things that I'm supposed to do is interview people to come in to get their housing. And one thing you're not allowed to have is any type of felony that has to do with violence. So I'm called and told that this guy's in here and he had a violent felony when he was 16, did 20 years, and now he's 66 years old. So I know math is fun, but it's been 50 years since this guy did whatever he did. So he comes in for me to interview him, and I'm sitting this close to him in a tiny little room. I'm like, so sir, can you give me the idea of what happened? And he said, well, I guess the way this all played out was when I was 23, I did something really bad. I said, I thought you were 16. He said, no, I was in jail for 16 years. Here's what happened. I was asleep, taking a nap on my couch, and my 5-year-old's running around the living room like 5-year-olds tend to do. And while he's running around, I drift off. I wake up an hour later, and he's gone. I can't find him anywhere. And I'm freaking out and getting ready to call the police, so I call my mother-in-law, who lives 3 blocks down. I call her, and I'm freaking out. I can't find Billy. You know where Billy's at. That's when she says, I came down and got him because you were sleeping on your couch, and you can't leave a 5-year-old asleep. While you're asleep on the couch, you can't leave a 5-year-old running around your living room. Well, first of all, no. I think my parents were unconscious for 95% of my childhood. But whatever. So he's incensed and enraged. He's telling me the story. He's like, so I go down 3 blocks to get my kid. I get him, I put him in the car, he's happy to be there. My mother-in-law's yelling at me, cussing at me, calling me every name in the world. I think, I'm not going to do this in front of my kid. So I walk inside to her house. We're going back and forth. One thing leads to another. Things start escalating. So I killed her. I'm like, what? By the way, it's really fucking happened. Like a week ago. I'm like, what? He goes, no, I stabbed her in the heart. She wouldn't shut the fuck up, so I grabbed this bat that's sitting there and just beat her to death so she quit making noises, because those kind of noises can haunt you. It's like, all right, so what happened? He goes, well, I did 16 years. I got 20, did 16. Well, when you're in prison, when you're 23, some things happen to you when you're in there with lifers. So by the time I got out, I was 39, and I changed my sexual orientation. So I came out as a gay man, and I met a much younger gay man, and we fell in love, and we got ourselves an apartment, and we lived in bliss, his words, not mine, bliss, for 5 years. Everything's going great till one day I come home and go to try to walk in our apartment, and the locks are changed. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm yelling at him from the thing, come down here, what's going on? He's like, I need somebody younger than you, you're not fun anymore. I'm like, you're breaking my heart, come down, we gotta talk about this. He comes down, we're arguing, going back and forth. One thing leads to another. Things started to escalate. And I stabbed him. I'm like, you stabbed him? So you tried to kill him? He goes, no, they tried to get me on attempted murder. Because if you murder somebody, anything you ever do to anybody else is automatically attempted murder. Like, well, that makes sense. It's like, okay. And I'm still, at this point, I'm thinking, there's no way this guy's moving into the shelter, but I got to get on stage in a week, so I'm going to hear the rest of the story. Like, all right, so where'd you stab him? And he looks me right in the face. He goes, here, and here, and here, and way up here so he wouldn't die. Like, that kind of sounds like you tried to kill him. And with a really condescending look, he goes, if I was trying to kill him, I'd have stabbed him in the heart like I did my mother-in-law. Like, dumbass. Like, fair point. It's like, so they got you for attempted murder? He goes, well, they did. They got me for attempted murder, and I got 30 years. That's only because I stabbed him twice in the back, and he's trying to run away, and I was chasing him. Like, all right, that sounds about right. So what happened? He goes, I did 20 years on good behavior, and I got out, and I have been clean as a whistle ever since, and I really want a place to stay. All right, how long have you been out? He goes, I got out last Tuesday. Do your rooms have cable? Like, no, and sir, to be perfectly honest with you, at the risk of one thing leading to another, where things escalate, I'm going to have to ask you to get the fuck out of here. And I swear to you, this guy stands up and he goes, all right, I kind of figured that's... I saw what you did there, man. You did the one thing lead to another. That's good shit, man. You need to raise that up on your stage. That's good times. And that was the end of that story. I don't have an ending, so I'll take a small bow.
Yeah.
One other thing I'd like to point out is, it's a perfect move, it's a perfect transition to go to childhood after murder and whatnot. When I was a kid, my brother and I were 2 years apart, and we were huge wrestling fans. Anybody else here a wrestling fan? Woo! So then if you had a friend or a brother or a little group, anything you engaged in had to have a champion. Anybody else do that? Like, everybody had to have a belt. Like, if you're bowling, if you're playing kickball, if you're playing dodgeball, if you're playing lawn darts, if you're trying to shoot somebody in the ass with a BB gun, like, you have a title belt. And I was a big indoor arts and crafts nerd kid, so I was making title belts out of foil and out of cardboard, and we had championships. The problem is my brother's a much better athlete than I am, so he had all the titles, and I was always like the #1 contender going for him. But as we got older, we got made more friends, a bigger circle came in, everybody wanted to be a part of it, and I started going down the pecking order, and I realized the only reason I was ever #1 contender is there's only 2 motherfuckers working for those belts. So he had all the titles, so I had to start getting creative by coming up with new titles. Like, at one point, I was the mini golf scorekeeper champion. I was also the title belt maker champion, the maker of title belts. At one point, I was even the attendance champion. And that's when it dawned on me, I invented the participation trophy. That's 100% on me. And I think it's shitty, the participation trophy, I've bitched about it repeatedly, but it's my fault. So what I'm going to say is I'm not judging any of you. If you're a helicopter parent and you want to judge you want to have your kids, everybody gets a trophy, that's fine, but be forewarned, this is what they end up looking like. Thank you very much. My name is Tate Griffen.
Yeah.